Are we recording right now?
Mm-hmm. But
you won't use any of this.
I could if it gets good.
Oh.
I mean, if there's like a funny moment where we do the zoom in.
Yes. Okay.
We're always looking for those moments.
Cheers.
Cheers. Welcome back to another episode of Made Up. I'm your host, Danny Volk. And today, we're in the studio of artist Casey Smallwood. Hi.
Hi.
Thanks for having us in your studio.
Thanks for coming.
I've actually been here many times.
It's true.
Just not with cameras and things. Does it feel different?
Yeah.
It does? How so?
Yeah, it's just a little brighter on this side. That's all.
That thing?
I can't stop smiling.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Maybe some Vaseline on your teeth?
Do I need it?
For the beauty queen smile?
Oh, is that what they do?
To keep the lipstick off.
You know a lot about makeup.
Well, you know, it's really just a big part of my practice.
Danny, are you ready to get made up?
Yes.
Okay. That was like really overacted.
You went to U of C, right?
I did.
When'd you graduate?
2008. I came from a state school in Missouri, which was great. And I studied photography, and it was primarily formal training in photography. When I came to U of C, I kind of assumed that's what I was going to keep doing, because I didn't really know much outside of that. So it was this entirely different education that I think really pushed expanding your sort of, I don't know, knowledge set or whatever, smarter there, outside of the department, which I didn't ever think about before. It was all such a formal thing. The whole first year I shot these photographs that were so tragically embarrassing now that I look back at them. And at the end of that year, we had a critique coming up. So I went home, which is like 8 hours away, and I wanted to photograph my parents. I was shooting on a large format camera with film, and like I was petrified of coming back to U of C with fucked up film that would then, I wouldn't be able to show anything. I ended up shooting the whole thing with video on the mantle, and I got the camera and then what my parents were doing and everything in between. It was a video of like my parents' awkward ways of, I don't know, communicating or whatever. A marriage, a like 30-year marriage is basically what you're seeing. And then when I got back, the first person I showed the video to is David Shutter. I don't know, and kind of gave me like the courage to think about it as a video and not as a photo, and like be able to show that, even though it didn't look like art or whatever. It just was this like really slow moving situation of them.
You also use your mother as a subject of your work a lot, at least in the recent past. And you've used friends. I mean, I've worked with you and I've been in a lot of your work. Can you talk about your choice to do that?
I guess I'm looking at very simply like performances that happen in life. Super simple, right? So working with my friends and people that I know is like a really great and available resource for me. And then also, I know them. So like when we're in the moment, I feel like I can direct better from that place of knowing them and of knowing their histories or the histories that I'm privy to. So that sort of gets used directorially, I think. There's this trust thing that I think has to happen in those spaces. This space that kind of borderlines ethics, I guess. And so I feel like just starting out with someone that I don't know, you can't play with that line as well, I think, for me at least.
What's that sound?
That's Stella.
Who's Stella?
She's my dog who lives upstairs.
She's very protective.
She is. She likes to bark. She's getting worse.
So we're in your studio in the basement of your house in Logan Square.
Yes.
And so what happens down here?
I just finished, or I'm finishing the edit of a piece called The Center. A series of interviews from participants in this basically like a critique group, semi-residency thing at the Hyde Park Art Center. I invited all of them over one at a time. I ended up getting like 16 people to participate. And interviewed them about identity, I would say, like who they identify, or asked them who they identify with, and then asked them questions about their own agency and power.
So what are you working on now?
So now I am trying to figure out the next phase of this. Hold on, it's focus time. I am working on sort of a theater design. Yes, so I'm trying to direct the viewer as I would direct a performer.
Oh.
But without being there. So you're directing them through, I guess, the work or the way that they're viewing the work. In the Walmart Supercenter, in the back by the dairy coolers, there's a McDonald's. And like a McDonald's Express. And right outside of the entrance to the McDonald's Express, can I check it? Open your eyes. Okay. I don't know this. Right outside of that is, right outside of the entrance to McDonald's is a
Bench.
Sorry, it's really hard. And on the bench sits this statue or whatever of Ronald McDonald. And he's got his arm extended so you could sit down next to him. So you're sitting down with Ronald, hamming it up for your friend who's taking a picture. And then across the way, near the eggs, is some dude buying eggs. But he notices you performing for your friend. So he's now watching you. And then there's this woman who's over like getting Greek yogurt or something. And she watches the guy watching you two. So there's this like... The guy getting the eggs because he's being watched is now a performer in a way. And then the woman, because she's watching the whole thing and is aware that she too may be a performer, becomes a performer, if that makes sense.
So really the performance that you're interested in is the performance of watching others perform. Is that right?
Yeah, but watching others perform by watching. Yeah.
Because who is your ultimate viewer? Is it the woman with the Greek yogurt or the man with the egg carton?
I don't think there is an ultimate viewer.
Okay.
I think that keeps going.
What do you have coming up?
I got about 2 minutes left on your face.
Okay.
What do I have coming up?
Well, you have a piece in a show in Atlanta.
Right.
And what's that piece?
It's got some UFC MFAers in it. Mm-hmm. You're in it. Mm-hmm. Marilyn Volkman is in it. Mm-hmm. Dan Paz. Mm-hmm. And it's shot at UFC. Wow, they just keep coming through. Really, thank you.
I think I'm a nutcracker.
Something like that.
What were you trying to make me look like?
I was trying to make you look like Eyes Without a Face, and then it got weird.
I think it's actually really great. I'm actually going to my nephew's birthday party, but I think this is fine.
Totally. I think they might pay you.
Yeah?
Yeah, I would pay you.
Okay, well, he's really afraid of anything, but I think I'm going to risk it.
I mean, like, what is it about you that you could be afraid of?
Thank you. This has been Made Up with Danny Volk. Until next time. Cheers.
Cheers.